This video will walk DE supervisors and lead faculty through finding, reporting, and auditing syllabi in the Concourse system. As an auditor and an instructor in the Concourse system, you have two roles that can clash with each other if you are not aware. As an instructor, you log into Canvas and access the Concourse system through the external tool on the navigation. And when you are logged in via that method, you do not have audit rights. If you were to log into the Concourse system in the same browser that you were recently logged into as an instructor, you will not have the functionality outlined in the rest of this video. Specifically, the menu bar with the Reports tab as shown will be missing. So first thing when you are about to audit syllabi is to consider using a separate browser or an private incognito window either in Chrome or Firefox browsers. In that way, when you log in directly to the Concourse system, it will know you as an auditor, and you will have the Reports tab at the top, and you will have the Audit button on syllabi that you have audit rights for. If ever you are working within the system and lose any functionality that is outlined in this video, you always want to head to the top of the page and double check you're still logged in. If a login button is there, then your session is timed out and you will need to log in again. You may have to start your search over as well. Let's get into the Concourse Syllabus system by going to cgc.campusconcourse.com. Now press the Login button in the middle of the screen, and then use your MEID and password to log in. When your dashboard loads, you will see current courses and past courses, or any courses that you have access to for that matter. Now that we have this Concourse system, you may have courses where you are listed as an instructor in Canvas, but not the actual instructor of record. Next, I will select Reports up at the top right. And then from the Report Center, I'm really only going to use the audit report by selecting View. The other reports may be helpful for looking at a particular section in Bolt, but for this training, we're going to stick to auditing and general reporting. I'm going to pause here for just a moment to explain the way the system works. The criteria you choose on this page determines the results of the report that you can pull from the Audit Status Summary page, which you find after scrolling down to the bottom of these results and selecting All Results next to the Generate Audit Report. And then on this Audit Status Summary page, there's a button here, Download Extended CSV. This is an Excel-like document that will detail all the syllabi that met the criteria from the previous page. On this page, the Audit Status Summary page, you only see the syllabi that you have audit rights to and also meet the previous page criteria. So because of this, and because often your permissions in the audit system for reporting are broader than the permissions for auditing, it is best to narrow down as much as possible in the advanced criteria. The first criteria to adjust is the subject, though you cannot select multiples, so if you audit for different prefixes, go to Campus first. If you don't choose Campus, then you'll get both dual enrollment and ground campus courses in the results. For this video, I'm acting as if I'm a dual enrollment auditor for modern languages and humanities with a couple foreign languages that I'm responsible for auditing. So next will be division. I will find modern languages and humanities, skip department. If you have a department with multiple subjects, you may want to narrow it down there. And then I will change to this session, which for me right now is spring and the year 2021. The time frame also helps to determine what courses you will pull from. Unless you are doing this outside of a normal term, keeping it as current and future courses with the session and year chosen should yield the proper results. These two criterion correspond to the start and end dates of the courses. They could contradict each other in some cases, so if your search results return this no results found error, try changing the time frame to any with the session and year selected. Let's go back to advanced. Delivery is where you find modality of teaching and dual enrollment high schools. This is a great help for those DE supervisors that only audit specific high schools. If I audit more than one high school, I would want to wait to download the report on the next page. Really all depends on how many syllabi I need to audit. And finally, if you only want to see a specific audit status, then you could select it from this dropdown. Personally, I want a report on them all. So go ahead and select Search. This is a list of all syllabi within your specified criteria, and it shows regardless of your permission to audit. So this is not the screen where you want to work from. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and select All Results next to the Generate an Audit Report for. The Audit Status Summary page loads, and we get a nice visual of how many syllabi are within our audit range given the criteria from the previous page. If I just want to look at those syllabi submitted for review, I can click the arrows to change the sorting in the Audit Status column. You may see syllabi here that you're not actually responsible for, and unless you have the class list in front of you, you can't really tell who the instructor is. This is why I prefer downloading a report. However, I can open Syllabus to audit here by right-clicking on the syllabus title and opening it in a new tab. Then you can go through your audit. This can be achieved with the link shortcuts to the major sections of the syllabus, or you can scroll. If you do not have an audit button when you go into a syllabus, remember to first check that you are still logged in. Then, if you are and you think you should have rights to audit that syllabus, please reach out to your division administrative specialist for them to put in a Concourse support ticket. And that ticket can be found at cgc.edu/Concourse support. Some common mistakes we have been seeing in syllabi are listing an email address and contact information, but not the actual instructor name, not editing out red text in the top and bottom of the syllabi, or leaving instructional language from previous semester templates that was intended for the instructor, and leaving the old technology requirements in the materials section. Flash is obsolete and Safari is not a recommended browser with Canvas. Since we are still working to get the best template for the syllabi, it's important that we pass on the message to faculty that they need to be looking at the updates to the syllabus document. It is found in every header comment section. It will be held in the same document every semester, so you can find it at bit.ly/333ERE3. As a reminder, the only sections that are safe from the copy process are the header, though they can edit the notes field there, course description, course competencies, and institutional policies. The rest of the sections that hold updated information will be copied over if they don't check that document out first. When you have completed your audit and wish to mark the syllabus as reviewed or send it back to the instructor to work on it more, scroll all the way back up to the top. Select the Audit menu. Now change the audit status to reviewed or push it back to in progress with notes about what the faculty needs to improve on. Select the editor's checkbox, then update. This will send them an automated email. It will only go to people listed as instructors in that course. The audit trail is updated with your information and message. As promised, I will show you what the extended CSV can be turned into and how it can help. Here's one that I have formatted in Google Sheets with filters. I prefer Google Sheets because of the ease of collaboration. The report contains a URL to get directly to the syllabus. I would copy and paste this into my browser. And then the delivery method offers both the modality and specific campus information, including high school if this were a DE report. And finally, this has instructor information. Really, the only thing that is missing is the email, and we're working on that to make it a default on this report. Until then, you may want to get a VLOOKUP going with your email list to add that column to this table. As always, the CTLA is here to help. If you need assistance with this tool or anything else related to teaching and learning, please visit our website at ctla.cgc.edu. And then for personalized assistance, complete the help form and somebody from the CTLA team will get back to you as soon as possible.